Hi, I'm Jade Madison Scott, the creator of the BookMarks, and this is a fun little note from me to you so you know what the heck is going on. The show you're about to listen to, The BookMarks, is an improv comedy. Short outlines were written so the actors would have a plot skeleton to work with, but the words, the character choices, that's all them just making it up as they go. And because this is a book podcast that parodies book podcasts, I want to make it clear that the authors and books the characters talk about are absolute fiction, totally made up by the actors on the spot, so there's no need to Google is blah 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 a real book, because it's not. The actors are just so good to make you think it is. All right, that's all I wanted to say, so let's get to why you're really here. Please enjoy the show.
Welcome everybody back to the BookMarks.
Yeah, I'm having a great time with these bookmarks openings.
I'm your co-host, Marquelle Bookerson.
And I am Mark Bookerson. No relation.
No relation. And this week we were thinking about talking about my favorite book series growing up, Kitty and the Pegasuses. Or is it Pegasai?
Oh, is it Pegasai? Yeah, I've never been clear about that.
Yeah, no, it's...
Because I think the technical plural is Pegasai, but I feel like maybe they were doing an artistic thing and saying Pegasuses, but maybe... I feel like there was word on the internet that, like, they retconned it later to Pegasai. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I think that's partly because it's like the Nancy Drew or the Booger Bunch books where they're all written by a different author. And
and so whoever takes their take on it will spell it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I loved this book growing up. Okay, so for all y'all who haven't read it yet, it is about Kitty and the band, the Pegasuses, Pegasai, whatever they are, and they like, this is like a fictional book, but it's a fictional band, but it's also a real band that would actually perform.
It's like a Wiggles.
Like the Wiggles, exactly. And I would wake up every Saturday with my sister Jess, and we would go to the library so we could get the new books as they came out on the shelf. So that's where I started getting into like hand to hand, because that's where little girls, you have to fend them off. They're a little vicious, but it's a great book series. It got me really into the arcane pop, which is like the older form of pop music, and it also has a lot of alliteration, and you know that I'm into alliteration.
Big alliteration fan. Marquelle, I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I'm a bit of a peghead myself.
Really? You're a peghead?
Yeah, when John Lennon toured with Kitty and the Pegasuses,
oh my God,
I was front row at that concert. And
lucky! I could only see it online.
I got to go backstage and like meet all of them. It was pretty cool.
You lucky duck! Oh my God!
Pegheads will peg, you know.
Yeah, that we will.
What's up?
Sorry. There's I just looking out the window, I thought I saw...
You're worried about the wrong things. What's your favorite song from Kitty
My favorite song.
and the Pegasus? Because I think there's a clear answer, right? I think there
is only one clear answer. Rockin' the Rainbow.
Rockin' the Rainbow. Exactly. I'm glad you got the high there.
I love that song. It's so much fun. Thank you.
Oh
no, I love it. I love every iteration.
Just pause for a moment, because they're really loud. What's going on out there? They're super loud out front.
I don't know. I think some people are moving in next door.
They're being
kind of...
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's not.
Is that pop sensation Christian Wilde?
Wow. Marquelle.
Oh my God.
Marquelle, I need you to breathe. I need me to breathe. We both need to breathe.
Okay, we all need to breathe.
We gotta get him on the podcast, right? That's gotta be a thing.
Christian Wilde,
because he lives.
Christian Wilde is going to be your neighbor. We need to get him in the...
Immediately, right? Today. Christian Wilde should be talking about Kitty and the Pegasuses with us, right? Like, that's a thing that should be happening.
Mark, he needs to be your new best friend. Okay.
I'm gonna cook up a plan.
You cook up a plan.
I'm thinking.
I'm gonna turn it to the special announcement from our sponsor. Be right back.
Unicorn.
Is it popcorn? Is it cotton candy? The world may never know, but you can. Always wanted to know what a unicorn paradise tasted like? Well, now you can with unicorn. Wow! The only unicorn-flavored popcorn that will make your taste buds want to venture over a rainbow.
Nay!
You can even meet a lovely Pegasus named Violet along the way. Yes, Violet, it is a cute name. Don't judge me, folks. You can get new unicorn in all the colors of the rainbow. Yes, folks, that's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and our favorite, violet. No, not you, Violet. We could never eat our friends unless the situation calls for it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Cannibalism.
But don't waste your time contemplating a software, folks, because if you call right now, you could get all the colors of unicorn for the cheap, cheap price of $9.95.
What?
You heard right, $9.95.
What?
You don't wait up. Call now. Unicorn, not actually made of unicorns.
I got a plan. So I'm the plan guy, and I'm a plan guy with lots of different guys who are gonna get our plan done.
So what's the plan? Just throw it out there.
So we live in a high-rise building. He lives in a lower high-rise building. Still a very nice building. I actually toured it a couple times before I moved into this apartment.
Oh my God, Mark, focus.
Go. We're gonna get a zip line. We're gonna zip line over on a clothes hanger. We're gonna break in using glass cutters. We're gonna swing through the door, break the alarm system. I know that they have lasers in there, so we're gonna have to be very acrobatic and nimble. We're gonna.
This is getting a little too complicated. On a clothes wire, that's supposed to support 2 adults. I don't think that's a great idea. Here's my idea. My idea is that we sneak up the fire escape in a gorilla suit and then pretend that we are going to climb up to the top to reenact King Kong.
You're gonna King Kong the guy? You wanna King Kong the? How is that gonna? We're not giant gorillas. We're normal-sized gorillas. We would need to go get my giant gorilla guy for that.
What? Okay, give me another suggestion then, smarty pants.
Maybe we get one of those planes and it has the banner planes. We get a banner plane to start flying around his house 24/7, just circling him. And we start. How people go mad when you play loud noises for a long period of time. They this experience. We just start playing. We played loud noises so that way he starts going a little bit crazy. So when he starts seeing the plane flying, the message, that's all he can think about is oh my God, I gotta get on this BookMarks podcast because he's going insane. So we drive him insane.
Your plan is to make him crazy, then he'll be too crazy to talk to. We can't do that. What if?
You're right. It's gonna take too long anyways.
What if we released some live tigers into the building to chase him out into the street, and then we hiya, ka-cha, put him in a headlock, and then he'll be so grateful that we saved his life from these tigers that he will feel compelled and obligated to go on our podcast.
I actually really like that plan, but my tiger guy's out of town, so it's not gonna work. Okay. I think we're thinking wrong. We're thinking $2,000, and I think we need a smaller scale. Okay. And so what I'm thinking is, he just dropped a new album, right?
The Wilde ones. Yes.
So why don't we lure him in with music from his new album and get him to come talk about an album / make music with us or something? He's a musician. They respond well to that, right? That's how music works.
He is an artist, and if we have a backup plan, just in case it doesn't work out, we can also suggest the possibility of making an album with him, so that he'll go on our podcast to make a single with us.
I don't know.
You don't like that idea?
Do you play?
I had some experience tickling the ivories, but you play the saxophone, right?
Yeah. Quiet about the sax. We're not trying to. Thank you.
Okay, axe the sax. Got it. Yeah. Do you play any other instruments?
In the past, I have been known to play the violin, but that is behind me, and some things are left better buried deep in the vault of memory where they are never to escape from again. So we're just going to keep that locked away. I don't think that's a viable option here. You said you tickled the ivories. You can't just wow them with some sick piano playing? You can't just do that?
It's not so much sick. It's just anyway, how about this? Like in Kitty and the Pegasus, when the gang met Penny, remember that Penny? And she led them to victory with her melodic soprano voice. We could sing to him their hit song, Rockin' the Rainbow.
Rockin' the Rainbow. That's perfect, honestly.
There's no way you could possibly resist. That song is a banger.
Yes, and he's a musician. It's just you throw music at people like that, and suddenly they're hypnotized. So I really see no way that this goes wrong. Hey, what's up? My name's Mark Bookerson.
I'm Marquelle
This is Marquelle Bookerson. We run a little podcast called The BookMarks.
We review books, and he slammed the door in our face. What a jerk!
I have never in my life met someone so rude and callous and uncaring towards clearly people who look up to you and maybe saw you as a musical idol and someone they wanted to be one day when they were a kid or something. What the heck? man. What the heck? Chris?
Disappointing. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, what's up with musicians, right?
Yeah.
Like, who do they think they are? Just being jerks out of nowhere.
Shoot, even if they're working really hard, playing their instruments, they should still be able to find time for their fans.
Exactly, I have never in my life seen just like a person who is so uncaring. Who does that? I mean,
I know.
Have you ever met like musicians like that who are just rude in your piano days?
I mean, there was this time when I met James McDaniel.
Wait. James McDaniel?
Yeah, James McDaniel of the New York Symphony Orchestra.
As in, James McDaniel of the New York Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah.
You just met that guy?
Once or twice.
I thought you were a, novice piano player. You said you played a while back. What do you mean you met James McDaniel?
Why, okay, I might have met him once or twice while I was preparing to perform for the New York Symphony Orchestra.
Excuse me?
Well, when I was a kid, I almost got the opportunity to play for the New York Symphony Orchestra as a pianist. I mean, I got to practice there a few times when I was 10, but I had to turn it down because I had a lot of family things going on at the time. And
Wait.
It's not really something I like to talk about.
You mean that you had a chance to play for not like a New York Symphony Orchestra, the
New York Symphony Orchestra. Yeah. When I was a kid, Grandpa, before the MS kicked in and he couldn't play anymore, he still can't play anymore. Hopefully they'll find a cure one day, but he would put me in his lap when I was 3, and he would guide my hands. But it turns out that I'm a natural at the piano, and I picked it up just like that. And I was enrolled in classes. I was scouted by a talent scout, and I would do concerts. I used to wear combat boots under my little dress because I thought that it made me cool. Yeah, when I was 10, I almost had this opportunity, and at the time, my parents, they were still around. It was before the Bermuda Triangle disappearance, and they were working all the time, and it was just Grandpa taking care of us, and I had to help him because he was just starting to get sick at that point, and I knew that this opportunity was a great one, and if I'd gone through with it, I could have gone to Europe, I could have gone to Asia, I could have gone to Mars to perform professionally. I could have been a rock star, essentially, but I had to take care of my siblings because nobody else was there except for Grandpa, and Grandpa tried so hard and he couldn't. And I don't think Jess or Francois or Guillaume realize how much responsibility that is for a 10-year-old and what I gave up for them. And it's hard to think sometimes about where I would have been if I hadn't have given that up, because I would have been making so much money. I would be famous instead of being a 27-year-old loser who works temp jobs just to
Slow
survive.
down there, Marquelle, okay? You're not a 27-year-old loser, okay? You are an awesome author and a great podcast host and a phenomenal friend, okay? So don't sell yourself short, piano prodigy, okay? You are amazing. And I mean, I can't even imagine being that great. You know, when I was in high school, I was first chair on the violin, and, you know, I used to be a viola player, but that was lame. Like, I wasn't going to play the viola for the rest of my life. And, you know, I worked super hard to, you know, make it to first chair. Apparently, you know, Jen
Oh, yeah. So
was
lame.
first chair. Mom was first chair. Ken was Ken was not first chair, but he didn't like music, so he didn't care about that. And so I had to pick up the legacy, and I remember there was a big recital, and, Mr. Timpany had saved seats for all of my family, and I was playing the big recital. I had a solo and everything, and my dad didn't show up.
Oh.
And I was so distracted by that I just ended up flubbing it, I looked like a big, dumb, idiot doofus in front of not only my entire class, but, my family and my friends. Everyone called me the volatile violin from that point on. It was really, really mean. Yeah. And so I know it doesn't maybe make you feel better by comparison, but, I think maybe it's better to have good memories of playing an instrument than to not want to ever play one again at all, right? You can always get a little keyboard and just toil away in your free time.
I mean, the thoughts occurred, for sure. I mean, I miss the way my fingers would glide over the keys and how I just felt so connected to the piano, but it's just, it hurts so much to think about what could have been.
I get it, but that's not fair that you should have to give up something that you clearly love so much because of what, like reality or whatever. That's stupid. That's dumb. And I don't accept that. So no, it's not, because we're going to change that. We're going to change reality. The reality's dumb, and I don't believe it. So you know what?
How do you even change reality, Mark?
You stay here, and I have a better plan. I have the best plan that we've come up with today, by far. And
okay.
So you, I don't know, run the podcast, do like a Markelle's Corner or a commercial or something. The podcast is on you right now, because I'm going to go change reality.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Okay, you're just going to...
I'm going.
Okay. And he's gone. Okay, so on that note, I mean, I guess it is hard to give up the things that we love, but that is reality. And sometimes reality bites. But on a lighter note, here's a commercial.
Hey everyone, Mark Bookerson here. A lot of times as I'm heading to sleep in my large penthouse apartment, reading a book that is oftentimes on my nightstand, I find myself feeling lonely, perhaps a bit unfulfilled. And whenever I get those feelings, well, that's when I call up this service, the bedtime readers. See, the bedtime readers are going to send someone to your house who will read you a bedtime story of your choice for the low price of $19.99 a month. And for just $2 extra, that very same person will tuck you in, kiss you on the forehead, and tell you everything is going to be all right. Now, this is a service that you do not want to miss. I mean, this has changed and revolutionized my life. In fact, I'm so enthusiastic about this service that I actually got them to give me a very, very special promo code, and you're not going to get this offer anywhere else. If you use the code THEBOOKMARKS at checkout, you can get 20% off your first order. Yeah, that's right. You can get 20% off your first order when you use the code THEBOOKMARKS at checkout. So go ahead and get someone who's going to prioritize your happiness when it comes to bedtime. Use the bedtime readers.
Really sitting and thinking about it, you never know what life is going to be like, And yeah, I could have been a celebrity rock star pianist playing for the kings of Europe and the queens of Asia and President Elon Musk of Mars, but I also couldn't have. I might have I might have played for them and then decided that I was bored with it. Who knows? But I do know that because I didn't do that, taking up writing was something that I discovered and helped me discover more about myself. When I was playing, it was people telling me what to do. When I write, it's me telling myself. Does that make sense? I think I made the right call. I really do. Oh, Mark, you're back. You were sweaty.
Marquelle.
Are you running?
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Yeah, I don't do that sometimes. I have a little surprise for you.
Okay.
Fans of the podcast and Marquelle, please welcome Christian Wilde to the podcast.
Hi, everyone. Hi, hello. It's great to be here.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Christian Wilde, are you real? Can
yes,
I touch
absolutely.
you? Oh my
Feel
God.
free. Just don't wrinkle the sweater.
Oh my God. Oh, he's real. Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming today. Oh, Mark, how did you get Christian Wilde onto the podcast?
Yeah, Marquelle Bookerson.
Mark Bookerson.
Look, you're worried about the wrong things, all right? Look, all that matters is that we talked a few things over and realized that maybe we're more alike than we thought, and also maybe I promised him a book deal with my mom's book publishing company and also like unlimited roast beefs or something like that, but that's not important.
I disagree. Roast beef sandwich is very important.
He's really big on roast beef sandwiches.
Who isn't? I love a good sandwich. But thank you so much, Chris, for coming to speak with us.
Oh no, absolutely. And while I'm here, while I remember, I'd love to as kind of a gift for allowing me onto your podcast. I would like to give you, Marquelle, this signed copy of my newest album, The Wild Ones. There's the reaction I was hoping for.
Deluxe double gold print edition. Oh my God! I didn't think this was even in stores yet. Thank you.
Oh, it's definitely not. Oh, but anything for such a fan as yourself.
Oh my God.
And Chris, it occurs to me that maybe you're not just a fan of giving people signed albums, but also maybe a fan of Kitty and the Pegasai.
Ooh, you just had to mention my favorite series, didn't you? But no, yes, absolutely. You are a book podcast, so of course I'd be happy to talk about my favorite.
I know a peghead when I see one.
No, yes, absolutely. I've talked about it in great length on my own social media when I'm allowed to, of course. But Kitty and the Pegasus is just an inspiration to me in my own career. The musicality of the book series is, comes through in its words, and I find that just tremendous for a different medium.
Which one was your favorite?
Oh, I love Volume 3 personally. I think, the way it's written, the time travel element, the part where they go back and get to, have a jam session with the Gingers in the 70s, Yes, the Gingers.
Yes.
Oh my God. And what I really love about that part, what I really just genuinely love about that part is, the whole time in all of the books up until that point, we have no clue what happened to Kitty's mom, Kat. But then we find out through this time travel that Kat was actually a member of the Gingers and a detective slash
magical
girl slash musician in her own right. It's almost like we see, even though Kitty's mom is gone in the present for whatever reason, that a part of her continued on in her daughter, and that's just beautiful. That's so beautiful.
Absolutely. And I thought that, the lead up to that bit where, before you knew their connection, where, Kat seemed a little estranged and cold, was a brilliant setup for that turnaround. And while it's on my mind, Marquelle, I'd like to apologize for being estranged and cold. I simply hadn't had my roast beef sandwiches in our previous encounter.
I understand being hangry is a thing. No, I get it.
You wouldn't like me when I was hangry, but It's such a great tale and something I aspire to bring into my everyday life as an artist myself.
I just think that the fact that so many wonderful authors have been able to write on this series, I think that it was interesting, Jennifer Lawrence, when she took her little break from acting, wrote on like Iron Man, and I think she wrote on some like Thor and stuff, but I think her work on this series, particularly her run around, what was that, volume
57
through about 65.
Yes.
I think that was inspired. I think that just the way that, she manages to introduce kind of that rival band in the Dog Pound was brilliant, and I love them. They're rowdy, and it's almost kind of like in the Powerpuff Girls, where they introduce like the Rowdy Rough Boys, and you're like,
yes.
oh, that's awesome.
Yes,
we got that. It was fun. I love it.
I'm a big fan
of
the Jennifer Lawrence books. How many did she write? Like 3 or 4
I was actually
of them?
that for Halloween.
That was you were Jennifer Lawrence for Halloween?
I wasn't Jennifer Lawrence. I wish.
I also
Don't we
find
all?
myself wishing I was Jennifer Lawrence, but
no, I was a member of the Dog Pound from Halloween. I think I was Ricky.
you were
Okay,
Ricky.
yeah. Oh, I remember that.
That's quite
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone outside of this podcast, of course, listeners. That includes you. But
no, of course.
I was actually recruited to play Fido in the upcoming movie adaptation. So keep that very hush hush.
My gosh.
No one should know about that outside of you.
Our lips are
you great
sealed.
listeners.
You heard it here first, folks.
And
oh my gosh, that's a BookMarks exclusive.
Yes,
It
a
is.
BookMarks exclusive. And another big surprise for you all. When Mark asked me to come on the podcast, he told me about your great skill, Marquelle, with the piano, and I had to of course do a little bit of my own research and look up some of those great videos on MeTube. But it's your skill is incredible, and we have this open slot on our upcoming tour, and I'd like to be the first to ask you if you'd come back and lend your child prodigy skills to our tour. What do you say?
I say
Huh?
no.
No?
What?
No. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
Oh, I see. That is a shame.
I appreciate the offer. It's just I can't leave my family. I'm the only one who supports them. No, I can't do that to them. I have to stay here.
No. I'm sorry. No. Marquelle, look, your siblings are great, and I love them, and I love seeing them, but look, they're grown now. They can take care of themselves. Francois is in college, okay? It is not your job to stay around and always be strong for everyone else and put their needs above your own, all right? Look, for once in your life, do something that you want to do for yourself. If you need someone to, be here in case something goes wrong, I live here, and I'm your best friend. I'll never let anything bad happen to your family, literally ever, because they're basically my family at this point. So, look, if you're worried about them, then I have them taken care of. But you go do something for yourself, please.
Do you really do that for me, Mark?
I'm already doing it. Come on, bestie, I gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah, obviously. Duh.
Duh.
Now stop crying and stuff and go work on, get a piano in here or something so you can start,
piano.
getting it. Yeah, we'll take care of that.
Okay.
We'll take care of that.
Oh, thank you. Oh man. So let's finish up this podcast, and Kitty and the Pegasus. I think we can all agree that this book series, this tremendous, phenomenal book series of the ages has had an impact on a lot of people's lives.
No, absolutely.
Including ours.
I think that if not for, Kitty and the Pegasuses, I probably would have a much lower reading level. That was a lot of the books I read as a child. It was just that series.
No,
yeah.
personally, I don't even know if I would have become the artist I am today without Kitty and the Pegasuses. When I tell you it was an inspiration to me,
Really?
I mean it. Every word that came out of those pages drove me to become a better artist and a better person. And I don't know if that would have been the same without this book series.
I just cherish the memories I had with Jess and I going to the library and fending off those other little girls with hand-to-hand combat and reading the books with my sister and pretending to be Kitty and the band. And I loved it so much.
Yeah, and honestly, for me, I learned that I can like things that aren't like traditional like dude things, because Kitty and the Pegasuses is awesome. It's an awesome series, and it doesn't matter who you are, it's great. And even if that means that Jen still has a long lost copy of me singing "Rockin' the Rainbow," that's fine.
Don't be ashamed to like what you like.
I think we can all embrace our inner rock and roll.
I absolutely. One moment. I've just received a text about setting up for the tour. We're having some aerodynamic flips and stuff being done, and it's very Michael Jackson. So if you'll excuse me, I need to go be fitted for my harness.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Thank you so much
I will
for joining us. This has
coordinate
been
all the
wonderful.
details
Thank
with you, Marquelle and Mark. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast, everyone.
If you ever want to come over for like dinner or something, I'm right next door, bud. So
better make sure you have some of those unlimited roast beef sandwiches.
Oh, I gotcha.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye. Oh, wow.
Man.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah, she is really enthusiastic about those roast beef sandwiches.
He really is, but also literature.
Yeah, obviously,
Christian
and
Wilde
music
is
and
an
all of that.
artist.
Great guy. And I know there's been a lot of surprises for you today, Marquelle, but I have maybe one more.
Oh, okay.
So you know how there's that really big, what are they called, like grandfather pianos?
A great-grandfather piano.
Yeah, great-grandfather piano. You know how there's that one in the guest room, and it's like most of the guest room because it's just huge, yeah.
Yeah, it takes up like 75% of the floor space, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't play piano or anything, and you are about to be a rock star pianist, so I can think of no better person to have a great-grandfather piano to remind them of their grandfather.
Oh. Thank you. This is so generous of you. I don't know where I'm gonna fit it in my apartment, but
No, and you don't have to take it now or anything. I know that this is like maybe a touchy subject for you, but if whenever you're ready, we'll get it right on over there. All right?
Thank you.
Of course, bud.
Maybe in the meantime we should order some of that unicorn stuff to munch on while we watch some band documentaries. How does that sound, Mark?
That sounds awesome. I hear that Unicorn has a deal with McQuellan's, and so they're going to start selling it. They're going to have like a unicorn-themed menu.
Oh my
super
God.
soon. I know.
God, I
Those
love
guys, they're always
McQuellan's.
innovating.
Yeah, they are. They're on the trends, man.
Yeah, without fail. And, this unicorn stuff is delicious. I wonder...
It's highly addictive, too.
If it actually has, the taste of the flesh of a unicorn. That's not important, though. What is important is that we have completed another wonderful episode of The BookMarks. With a very special guest star, Christian Wilde, which was a surprise for everyone.
Wild in itself.
Yeah, which is wild to have Wilde.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining us.
Yes,
as
thank
always. Follow us on all social media platforms.
We're on every single one of them. Updated daily.
Literally every single day we check those things.
Yep.
So go ahead and follow, and hey, we'll see y'all in the next one. Starring the vocal talents of Marquelle Bookerson as Cody Smith.
Marquelle Bookerson, played by Virginia Lee.
Christian Wilde, played by Julian Dailey.
Our podcast is supported by people like you. You can support us and other shows made by WGC by subscribing to WGC Productions on Patreon. And you can follow us at WithGoodCo on Instagram and Twitter, and at WGC Productions on Tumblr and Facebook.